Yesterday, a Saudi Air Force officer opened fire in a classroom at Naval Air Station Pensacola, where he was training to fly all the fighter jets that President Trump sold to Saudi Arabia. You remember Saudi Arabia, don't you? The nation that 15 out of the 19 9/11 hijackers were from? The nation that throws bloggers like Raif Badawi in prison and brutally murders journalists like Jamal Khashoggi? The nation where confessions are extracted through torture? The nation where crowds gather to watch public beheadings? The nation where African and Asian women are trafficked and sold as sex slaves? In short, the birthplace of Muhammad? Yeah, so an Air Force officer from that big old slice of Sharia pie was being trained by the U.S. military to fly the U.S. fighter jets that the U.S. government sold to America's new BFF in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia. Shortly before killing 3 and injuring several more in his attack,
Northwest Florida, but throughout the Navy, nationwide and really around the world, because of so many people that have been involved in this base in one way or another. And I know that the president is actively monitoring in the White House, and the thoughts and prayers go out to everybody. We at the state of Florida have already dispatched support. Our Department of Emergency Management has sent a mental health coordinator to talk to any of the witnesses, any of the victims, the families, and offer whatever support they can get. Department of Children and Families has sent a mobile response team to the hospital. We have fatalities, but we also have people who are wounded. Some, like the Escambia deputies, look like they're going to be okay. Some are still in surgery, so we're praying hard for those folks. I think there's obviously going to be a...
At approximately 6:51 this morning, the call went out to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office Central Dispatch that there was an active shooter on Naval Air Station Pensacola. We had 2 units immediately respond, many to come behind, of course. While we would love to do a full disclosure with you this morning about everything that we are aware of, quite obviously we cannot do that. There are things that we are now in the investigative process that are required to be held back by not just the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, but our lead federal agencies, which of course are the FBI and the ATF and the associated federal partners that we have, and the U.S. Attorney's Office is also present. As the mayor said, I want to assure our community that the threat has been negated. Our community is secure at this time. We have no reason to believe or are we looking for any additional.
We begin this morning with the questions over what sparked a deadly shooting at a Florida Navy base on Friday morning. 4 people, including the gunman, were killed and 8 others were injured during the attack at a naval air station in Pensacola. CBS News has learned the gunman was Mohammed Saeed al-Shamrani, and he was a Saudi Arabian national and a pilot in training for the Saudi Air Force. He had been training in the United States since 2017. The FBI is investigating al-Shamrani's social media posts and whether he acted alone. But investigators have not said what his possible motive might have been. This morning, we're learning more about one of the victims. David Begnaud is in Pensacola. David, good morning.
Good morning. The military usually waits about 24 hours to notify the next of kin in a situation like this where someone has died. But we were able to overnight confirm the identity of one of the victims.
Today, a mass shooting at a military facility in Florida. The Navy confirming a gunman opened fire at Naval Air Station Pensacola, killing at least 3 people and injuring 7 more.
When you get into a scene like that, it is a bit like a movie because you have spent shell casings all over. This is a rather large building. The deputies and those assisting agencies all worked in conjunction to neutralize the threat, and that's why there was not more loss of life.
Authorities say deputies were on the scene within minutes.
We had an active shooter incident approximately 6:30 a.m. We got the call there was an active shooter in one of our buildings. The base is currently shut down. The active shooter has been neutralized. We are working with local law enforcement and with the FBI in our actions afterwards. As I said, the base is shut down. It will be shut down until further notice, until we can really understand the situation. But the important thing is that it is no longer an active shooter situation.